Welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute devotional podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse. Broadcast from the ever-beautiful Sharonville, Ohio, on the sunny side of Cincinnati. Hey there, friends. Welcome back to Daily Dose Radio here in the Bible Bistro. Here in the Bible Bistro, we serve it up hot and fresh. This is Farm to Fork Bible Study. I mean, we make this for you every day. It's fresh, and you can be guaranteed that it's good for you. This week, we're studying Psalm 109. Now, usually with a psalm this long, I would tell you that we are going to do this in 2 parts. However, this just doesn't divide well. And so we're going to do some really big bites like every day. Like today, we're going to have 6 verses. And tomorrow, we'll have 6 verses. And then there's going to be one where we have 7 or 8 verses. So I'm not going to be reading the entire passage for each day, but I will refer to those verses and hope that you will go back and read. If you can't read while you're listening, that you'll go back and read Psalm 109 on your own and maybe play the podcast a second time so that you can go over the material. This is to the chief musician. He is back. He is back from vacation. We finally got our chief musician back. We haven't had him for a while. And this is not an orphanic prayer. We had so many of those orphanic prayers in the 4th book. This is a Psalm of David. So we've had several of these that have been titled and classed Psalms of David. And so this is another one, a Psalm of David. And we have, like I said, we're going to do the entire Psalm 109, which is 31. Is it 31? Yeah, 31 verses long. Today we'll read verses 1 through 6. Now you'll notice that we begin in verse 1, "Hold not thy peace, O God of my praise." This is an imprecatory psalm, and imprecatory just means that it's a psalm or a prayer that is written against an enemy. So David is praying against his enemies here. And we're going to find out that not only is this a psalm perhaps that David prayed himself, but this psalm leads us to the New Testament. And we're going to see that as we go through the psalm. We're going to be taken back into the New Testament and find out that this is possibly a prayer that the Lord Jesus himself prayed in the New Testament. And we have some references here to things that we want to make sure we cover there. Okay, verse 1, "Hold not thy peace, O God of my praise, for the mouth of the wicked and the mouth of the deceitful are opened against me. They have spoken against me with a lying tongue." Now, we have the reason why he's praying. We come to verse 1, we have the prayer begun, "Hold not thy peace, O God of my praise." Now we know why he doesn't want God to hold his peace. Somebody's opened his mouth. David wants God to open his mouth against the one who's opened his mouth. And who is the one that's opened the mouth against David? It's the wicked and the deceitful. They've opened their mouth against me. They've spoken against me with a lying tongue. They compassed me about also with words of hatred, and fought against me without a cause. For my love they are my adversaries, but I give myself unto prayer. So David could be speaking here of Saul and his relationship with Saul, because David had been a faithful minister for Saul, and Saul had abused that. Now here he comes and he prays, "They compass me with words of hatred." We know Saul did that. And they're my adversaries. There's no cause for them to be my adversaries. So I'm coming to you in prayer. This is a wonderful encouragement for us to pray as well, isn't it? "They have rewarded me evil for good and hatred for my love." Of course, love here, anytime you read that word love in the Old Testament, always think of covenant. This is covenant language, love and hate. "Set thou a wicked man over him, and let Satan stand at his right hand." So a wicked man set over him. Could we be talking about Saul? Probably. If we're thinking about David here, and we are. So David's faithfulness, his covenant love, his diligence to be Saul's man in the field is being repaid with adversarialness, with wickedness, with deceitfulness, and all that. So not a good place for David to be. Set a man over him and let Satan stand at his right hand. So we see now the imprecatory nature is about to begin. All right, join me again tomorrow. We'll look at Psalm 109, beginning in verse 7 on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. I'm David Smith. The music today has been performed by the Bluegrass Experiment. Thanks again for listening. I'll see you next time on Daily Dose Radio.